Hello, Earth friends! It's me, Pix! Last week, I was enjoying an awesome bowl of tonkotsu ramen when the entire store started to shake. The noodles shook, the table moved, I wiggled, and yet, nobody panicked. One man just held his soup and waited. I was not sure what happened, and I just had to find out. And what I learned is honestly one of the coolest things about your planet. So today, earthquakes. What they are, why they happen, and what the numbers on the news actually mean. This is a series of 4 videos where I will try to explain about earthquakes, how to prepare for them, how Japan tries to outsmart them, and then specifically about earthquakes in Japan themselves. As always with any science video or safety video, this video is for general education, and I have tried to ensure and verify all of the data and facts. In an emergency, always follow instructions from the Japan Meteorological Agency and your local authorities. Probability figures reflect official estimates as of mid-2026 and may be updated. The hope of this video is to help and also encourage you to try to learn more from other resources. This first episode is called Earthquakes: Why the Ground Won't Sit Still, and will be broken up into 5 small chapters. Now for chapter 1, called Your Planet is Cracked. And before you panic, it's supposed to be. The outside of Earth, the part you live on, is like a giant eggshell broken into huge pieces called tectonic plates. There are about 15 big ones, and they float on hot, squishy rock underneath, kind of like crackers floating on soup. And they move. Not fast, about as fast as your fingernails grow, a few centimeters a year. Now here's the thing. These plates don't slide past each other politely. They push, they grind, they get stuck. And when 2 plates are stuck, the pushing doesn't stop. It just builds up, like when you bend a stick further and further and further, and then snap! All that stored up energy releases at once, and the ground shakes. That is an earthquake. It's not the planet being angry, it's just the planet unsticking. Now on to chapter 2. Let's call this one Sneaky Waves. When that snap happens deep underground, the energy travels outward in waves, like ripples when you drop a pebble in a pond, except the pond is made of rock. And here's something most humans don't know. There are 2 main kinds of waves, and they don't arrive at the same time. First comes the P wave. P stands for primary, but I like to think of it as P for psst. It's fast, but weak. It's the little jolt, the rattle of the cups, the dog suddenly staring at the wall. Then, a few seconds later, comes the S wave, the strong one. That's the one that really shakes. And this little gap between the sneaky wave and the strong wave? Japan built an entire national warning system around it. Sensors feel the P wave, computers do math faster than you can blink, and phones across the country scream a warning seconds before the big shaking arrives. Seconds don't sound like much, but it's enough to get under a table, stop a surgery, or slow down a bullet train. We'll dive deep into that in episode 3, and it is so cool. Now for chapter 3 of the episode, and we will call this one, The 2 Scales Everyone Mixes Up. Okay, quiz time. The news says magnitude 7. Your friend in Japan says it was a Shindo 4. Are those the same thing? Nope. And once you know the difference, you'll never be confused again. Magnitude measures the earthquake itself, how much total energy was released at the source. 1 number per earthquake. And the scale is sneaky. Every step up means about 32 times more energy. So a magnitude 7 isn't a little bigger than a 6, it's 32 times more powerful. A magnitude 8? That's 1,000 times more energy than a 6. The scale is basically wearing a disguise. Shindo is Japan's own scale, and honestly, I think it's genius. It doesn't measure the earthquake, it measures the shaking where you are standing. 0 to 7, with levels 5 and 6 split into lower and upper. Same earthquake, different Shindo everywhere. Strong near the center, gentle far away. Magnitude is the size of the shout. Shindo is how loud it sounds in your ears. Now that we understand about the levels, let's take it a little bit deeper. So in our next mini chapter, we will move on to 4 and call this one, So what does each level actually feel like? If you experience a Shindo 0 or 1, you basically feel nothing. The earthquake measuring machines notice, but you don't. At a level 2, hanging lamps sway a little and light sleepers might wake up. At level 3, most people feel it. Dishes rattle. Everyone looks up and says, "Oh, earthquake." Now with level 4, now it starts to feel like a real one. Things on shelves clatter, sleeping people wake up, and your heart does a little drum solo. At a 5, it's hard to walk. Unsecured furniture can slide or fall. Books leap off shelves like they're escaping. For a 6, you can't stand up. You literally have to crawl. This is when older buildings can be badly damaged. And a 7, the strongest level on the scale. The ground itself can crack and shift. It's rare, but it's why everything in episode 2 matters, when I will try to cover some preparedness. I want to say something here. If those top levels sound scary, that's okay. Even in Japan, the big ones are rare, and almost everything about staying safe in them is learnable. That's literally why I'm making this series. Fear shrinks when knowledge grows. So, ensure to stick with me. Now, Chapter 5 gets a little fun, so let's call this the giant catfish. Long before science figured out tectonic plates, people in Japan had a different explanation, and I love it. Legend said a giant catfish named Namazu lived in the mud under Japan. Normally, a god pinned him down with a magical stone, but whenever the god got distracted, the catfish thrashed and the ground shook. After a huge earthquake in 1855, catfish pictures called Namazu became wildly popular. Some people even treated the catfish as a weird kind of hero, shaking up the rich so their money spilled out to rebuilders. Humans, your folklore is amazing. Now, my favorite chapter, it's Chapter 6, Pix's Cool Facts. Rapid Fire Edition. Are you ready? Fact 1. The Earth has around 500,000 detectable earthquakes every year. Most are so tiny only instruments feel them. Fact 2. Japan alone feels roughly 1,500 noticeable quakes a year. That's about 4 a day somewhere in the country. Fact 3. The biggest earthquake ever recorded was magnitude 9.5 in Chile in 1960. The 2011 quake off Japan was a 9.0, and it actually moved Japan's main island about 2.5 meters closer to America and made Earth's day a tiny bit shorter. An earthquake literally changed time. A microscopic amount, but still. Fact 4. The moon has quakes too. Moonquakes. Your planet's habits are contagious. So that's the what and the why. Next episode is the important one. Exactly what to do when the shaking starts. At home, in bed, outside, on a train, and how to build a go bag so good future you will want to hug present you. I'm Pix. This has been Pix Explains, and remember, the ground moves, but knowledge keeps you steady. See you in the next one. Bye!